Every morning in Georgia, before a backpack is zipped and lifted off the counter, massive unrecorded work has already been completed. This is the silent foundation, the specific, unpaid labor of packing lunches, tracking permission slips, and managing the morning clock, work handled almost entirely by mothers. This effort includes emotional regulation, specifically the quiet, heavy lifting of talking a child through a wave of anxiety before they step onto the school bus. At home, that maternal safety net is reliable, that the moment a student walks through the classroom doors, they leave that individualized protection behind. The K-12 education system relies on this private individual labor to ensure that students arrive at their desks ready to function. Once inside the building, the volume of anxiety and behavioral challenges those students carry becomes the school's immediate responsibility. Parental devotion, however strong, cannot generate the clinical psychiatric infrastructure required to manage a student crisis during the school day. This timeline shows the window for schools to meet the House Bill 268 mandate. By July 2026, Georgia schools must have formal mental health systems in place. Districts now face a dual pressure: the exhaustion of the mothers who prop up the system, and the looming legal requirement to provide professional mental health support. Because a mother's individual effort cannot satisfy a district-wide legal mandate, schools require a structural bridge that translates private care into institutional compliance. MentalSpace School acts as that bridge, providing the clinical infrastructure necessary to partner with families and fill the gap in Georgia's K-12 schools. The primary mechanism is speed. MentalSpace utilizes same-day teletherapy to circumvent the weeks-long waitlists that often bottleneck traditional mental health care. Instead of routing students to a randomized call center, the system assigns a dedicated team of therapists to a specific school to build familiarity with the student body. The scope of care includes active crisis intervention, targeted suicide prevention, and violence prevention protocols. The support network also extends to the adults, providing wellness programs for school staff and family counseling that supports the mothers at home. To ensure the care is appropriate for the community, every provider is a licensed, diverse therapist trained in cultural competence. This multi-tiered model provides a school counselor with a full-scale psychiatric response unit for their students. High-level clinical care is only effective if the families who need it can actually access it. This chart contrasts standard therapy costs with the MentalSpace model, which brings the out-of-pocket cost for students on Medicaid down to $0. The network coverage includes major private insurers like Blue Cross Blue Shield, Cigna, Aetna, Humana, and Peach State. On the administrative side, the system handles the bureaucratic risk, securing the district through built-in HIPAA and FERPA compliance. By absorbing the clinical and legal burdens, MentalSpace provides a turnkey solution for schools ahead of the HB 268 deadline. When schools remove financial and clinical barriers, they establish a baseline where student health is no longer dependent on private family resources. When a student is supported by both a mother at home and professional care at school, the outcomes are measurable. This chart shows an 89% improvement in student attendance rates following the implementation of MentalSpace. That attendance is driven by a 92% reduction in measurable student anxiety. Because the system shares the emotional load, it provides relief for the home environment, leading to an 85% family satisfaction rate. Professional clinical care supports the foundation a mother builds at home, shifting the heavy lifting of mental health from the individual family to a shared institutional responsibility. To bring this infrastructure to your local Georgia school, contact MentalSpace School today.